Hotel brothers and sisters, Black Power. As always, giving honor to the Creator, giving honor to the ancestors. Chief of Staff, Brother Harris Abdul, of the Street Law Soldiers. My sister, my in-laws, my father, family members, subscribers, donors, viewers, brothers and sisters that are locked down in these jails and prisons, brothers and sisters that are in hospitals and institutions, and all of our brothers and sisters that are fighting strictly for salvation and liberation and emancipation within the black nation. I want to, this is an interesting topic today, and giving credit to Brother Ray Williams down in Atlanta, Georgia, who brought it to my attention about this particular subject. This was what you call atrazine. For those who have never heard that word before, atrazine is an herbicide used for crops, vegetable, fruit crops, as a herbicide, and it has a lot of poisonous chemicals in this atrazine. Very, very dangerous drug. Very, very dangerous chemical. This is the Washington, D.C. water plant. Water and sewage plant. Which this atrazine is placed in this water. Now, which has caused very, very damaging results in the black community, because atrazine is used primarily and exclusively only in the sewage and water treatment plants that specifically serve the inner cities, where it's predominantly black, lower income brothers and sisters. This guy here, Paul Watzka, a Minnesota professor, is a whistleblower and informed the public of atrazine and the damaging effects that it has had on the black community and lower to lower middle income black families in these inner cities. And when I tell you what this shit has been doing to us, you're going to be fucking amazed. It makes no sense. Now, Paul Watzka, he discovered that atrazine causes birth defects, causes cancer, and it causes hormone imbalance, which results in gender switching. So when we talk about all of a sudden all of our brothers and sisters and our elders that all of a sudden pop up with all these various types of cancers, this atrazine has played a major role into causing cancer in our brothers and sisters in the black community. So Paul Watzka was a whistleblower. You know, this Minnesota governor, Tim Paul-Letty, blackballed Professor Watzka and tried to discredit him and blackballed him, blacklisted him. And this is supposed to be now Governor Tim Paulette is supposed to be this man of God. But yet, he has been a major player and complicit into the distribution of this atrazine in the upper eastern region. Now, Tyrone Hayes, you might have heard of him, professor at University of California, Berkeley, had discovered this atrazine and conducted tests with this atrazine, and he used frogs. And what he found out, that by using the frogs, it made the frogs, it castrated the frogs, the male frogs, turned the male frogs into female frogs, and the male frog ended up being pregnant by another male frog. Now, he chemically castrated these frogs, and now they tried to buy Professor Tyrone Hayes out, and then when that didn't work, they put threats on his life and the lives of his family. So right now, I'm not sure whether he still teaches at Berkeley, but he lives in an undisclosed location based on these devils attempting to take his life, primarily because he discovered how dangerous this shit is and how it has been turning our males into females. So when you wonder how all of a sudden our little boys that are in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade ended up with these female tendencies, some have even grown breasts. This is the main reason why that this atrazine has been placed in the water, has been placed in a lot of foods, a lot of GMOs use atrazine. And so when you feeding your children these pre-sweetened cereals and all of this processed shit, and they begin to be oversensitive, because soy automatically makes males become highly sensitive. Soy is not good for a black man. And this atrazine has been sprayed on soy crops. And so that combination itself is a lethal combination, where they're literally Frankensteinian our children, turning them boys into girls and vice versa. And it is because of these people. Syngenta. Syngenta is a company, and Syngenta is similar to Monsanto. You know, very wicked, very wicked corporations that destroy the hormone balance and ruptures the DNA as well as the blood types and the chemical castrations of our boys and girls and men and women. And so when you see our brothers doing this shit, not only engaging like this, but also this shit has spread into Hollywood, where it has become normal. Think about how comfortable and acceptable the black community has become watching this type of motherfucking filth bullshit. Based on the fact that this is added in a lot of shit. Mickey's in their drinks, placed in the mollies. And so when our young males try out for and be actors for movie scenes and commercials and what have you, they are willing to play a same sex role for the money. And we sit back and allow this, and we get comfortable with this moonlight type shit. This homo thug bullshit. And it's based because of the diabolical scheme that these corporations that distribute processed foods, I'm talking about the major manufacturers. You know, all of these, V8, Hunts, A1, Ocean Spray, Kellogg's, Trident, Skippy, Kraft, all of these are laced with this atrazine. And so this is the diabolical scheme that has been placed on the black community. Why do you, or have you ever noticed how feminine and oversensitive that our warriors have become within the last 5 or 6 years? How soft they became, how they have changed the tempo of their warrior spirit. They're no longer dealing with black supremacy or straight black pride or being pro-black. Now everybody's all one color. And all this rainbow bullshit. And see, this is how they get us. This is why you have black jurors taking sides with white culprits, white defendants, letting them walk free when they murder black men and women. Even in the sodas. And back in 74, they had a movie. Let me see if I can get a little clearer. In 1974, it was called Three the Hard Way. And the movie was about the crackers putting something in the water to murder millions of black people, putting these chemicals or this poison into all of the water plants in the inner cities to kill all melanated people. And it started Jim Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly, 1974. So this shit hasn't just come out. The only thing that they've done over the years as a result of science is they kept experimenting and kept perfecting this shit. Now it's to the point where it actually can turn men into women and vice versa. And let's go a little further. Now, this is Dr. Robert Gallo. He is, let's get it clear so you won't be fucked up and confused. Dr. Robert Gallo invented AIDS. He patented and created HIV. Remember when I told you all that the AIDS virus and HIV was created in Fort Detrick, Maryland, on a military base, on an army base. It's where Dr. Robert Gallo created HIV. And if you notice, let's just talk about that for a minute. If you notice something about HIV and AIDS, that's another diabolical scheme that was designed to wipe people of color off the planet. Because you had, it was told that drug users, you could get it through drugs, snorting, IV use, and sex, particularly anal sex. Now, they say it's 100,000 ways more ways that you can contract it now. But it's man-made. And anything man can make, man can destroy. And think of the millions of our brothers and sisters that have passed and those who are still dealing with this HIV virus today. Now, Dr. Peter Duesenberg, who is a professor also at the University at Berkeley, says that he proved that HIV is a harmless retroactive drug. It is harmless. And it has been proven. Dr. Robert Wilmers injected himself with the AIDS virus. No results. Never testing positive for HIV or anything. Now, I'll tell you something about this shit. If you were to go take an AIDS test and you had a regular cold, you're going to come up positive because by you having that cold, your immune system is compromised at that time. So it will show that your immune system is compromised, making a false diagnosis stating that you are HIV positive. And hundreds of thousands, even millions of our brothers and sisters have been misdiagnosed. And I guess you say, well, how did they pass away? They passed away from the medication. Now, I'm going to show you an example, but when a person is HIV positive, they look perfectly normal. Because when they took the test, their immune system may have been compromised or whatever. They may have had a cold that they don't know about. You know, depending on who you are. Depending on your DNA and your blood type. But the medicine is what kills you. Because literally, just like a TB test, where they inject synthetic TB into your body to see the reaction, how your body will react to that. How do you think it's going to react to it? Because it has TB in it. Now, if your immune system is strong enough to fight off of that TB, then you'll be okay. But if not, then they just gave you TB. It's fucked up. It is fucked up. And people don't get sick until they start taking this HIV medication. Everyone that I've known, I'm not even going to go by. I'm going to show you somebody that you know. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson who announced that he was HIV positive in 1991. Now, when he was getting the best of health care from the most expensive and top flight physicians on the planet when he played with the Lakers, how is it that he looks better now after he so-called contracted the virus? Now, I'm going to break this down to you. During that time, the late 80s and 90s, when the Lakers basketball dynasty was reigning, a lot of black basketball players were fucking a lot of white girls. They were fucking a lot of snow monkeys, and these team owners and these executives and these CEOs of these major corporations, it was their granddaughters and their daughters, some even their wives, were fucking these 6 and 7 foot motherfucking warriors. And they wanted to put an end to that bullshit. And which was a diabolical scheme once again. They gave Magic Johnson $30 million to say that he was HIV positive. So you may ask and wonder, why did they choose Magic? Well, once again, during the Lakers dynasty, Magic was the man. Magic was the man. And so Magic hosted so many parties at his mansion. So many parties that was full of cocaine, of narcotics, alcohol. And this is where his son may have gotten tampered with, probably being curious or being left unattended in these mansion parties. And it could have been one of these basketball players or several of them. Who knows? He will never tell. But then he pops out all of a sudden and jumps out of the closet being a woman. No, it doesn't go down like that. But nevertheless, he was paid $30 million. And he walked off the basketball court. Now, they had to get, everyone wasn't down with this. Everybody didn't know about this. So that's when you had brothers that were afraid to touch Magic and check him on the court. That really made it look good, like he really had something. And so he walked away from basketball, went upstairs, and the Lakers became part of the Lakers organization. And not only that, became a very, very wealthy man. Now, how is it he looks like this today? And he's supposed to have had AIDS 30 years ago. Better than he looked back then. Better than that. You know, so you gotta wonder. This is what happened with Magic. Got the $30 million. He began to be a business entrepreneur and became 100 times richer and wealthier than he did when he was playing basketball, when he was the king of basketball at one time. Starbucks, Magic Theaters, and all these other business ventures, the LA Dodgers. Now, we all know people with common sense can read between the lines. Ray Charles could see this shit, but we don't want to accept it. because we like drama. So it's best that we stay on the sympathetic drama side because we believe everything the cracker says. Now, I'm telling you the truth, but you'll question my truth and believe the devil. And the devil's the one who set it up, but you will believe the devil, the lie that the devil gives you. Because that worked. And that cut down on 80% of that locker room activity. So, because you don't even really hear about that shit anymore like you did in the 80s. Where the groupies were just hanging in the locker room. You don't see too much of that shit now. Excuse me. You know, so I hope you got something out of this video. And in closing, 2 key words. I was talking with my brother today, and there was 2 key words that we need to focus on as the black community: healing and self-forgiveness. Self-forgiveness being the first. And I want you all to do yourselves a favor. I know 90% of you are not going to do this. Go in the mirror. If not, just tell yourself you forgive yourself. And then the healing will begin. Because once you forgive yourself, because you're the hardest person to forgive, you'll forgive everybody else except yourself. But once you forgive yourself, the healing begins. The healing, the total healing of the mind, body, and spirit. Because they all work simultaneously. They all work in conjunction and in sync. The mind, body, and spirit. That determines your energy level, how high your vibration will go. But you have to forgive yourself. Because most of us, if someone else done to us what we done to ourselves, we would kill them twice. Think about it. So forgive yourself. Tell yourself right now, I forgive you. I will take better care of you. I will provide more love and understanding and spiritual nourishment to you. I will do my best not to let you down anymore. Because you are a great individual. You are a wonderful individual. You are loving. You are kind. You are grateful. Your gratitude level is high. And if it isn't, we're going to work on getting it up there. I'm going to help you raise your vibration and your frequency to its highest. But I have to forgive you. Allow me to forgive you. Let me treat you better. Let me put in the right things in you. Let me give you the right words to say. Let me not be angry. And allow me to forgive myself. Because when I'm angry and when I get angry so quick, that's a sign and a clear indication that I haven't forgiven myself totally. I am still holding on to some things I've done to myself that I'm still angry about. Because I'm not satisfied with who I am. And I may pray every day. I may attend a religious group or a church or a mosque or a synagogue or a temple. But by me not forgiving myself, it's impossible for me to internalize the information that are in these religious texts and these spiritual connotations and cliches. It's impossible for me to internalize them because I still have this confusion and turmoil and big giant ball of anger going on inside of me. So I'm going to work on you. Let's work together because I need to develop a relationship with you and begin to love myself and begin to love you. I hope you got something out of this, brothers and sisters. I'll be back with another video shortly. And in the meantime, as always, brothers and sisters, Hotep, Black Power.